Right, so we're gonna do our on-time drawing real quick. Okay, da 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 da, da 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 da, and the winner is Lindsay.
Yay! Oh,
Exciting. So you win a brand new little Season's Best cookbook. So these are fun because they come out kind of showcasing the season's veggies and the season's new products, and it has like mains and sides and desserts in there. So I'll get that to you in the mail. And then
thank you.
sure. We're going to go ahead and get started because we're going to do this like it's in real time. Like, say you're doing your meal prep on the Sunday or your Saturday. So, the first thing I want to get going is whatever takes the longest, and that's usually the meat. So, before we do anything, let's pop in our meat in the pressure cooker. So, do you guys all have a pressure cooker?
Yeah, I don't know how to use it.
It's, you kind of have to sit and nerd out on the instruction manual.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take, this is the inner pot for my pressure cooker. It's a 6-quart stainless steel pot. And there's different accessories, but right now we're just using the pot. And anytime you do your pressure cooking, it uses steam. So it uses liquid to do the cooking. So you have to use at least a cup minimum of liquid. And I'm just using chicken broth. And this is the easy read measuring cup. So you can just look straight down and see your measure mark there. You don't have to like kink your neck. So I'm just putting in a cup of chicken broth. And then I've been having really good luck with there's pre-frozen chicken breast, and you buy them in a great big bag at any of the big stores, Walmart or Costco, and they're individually frozen. So this is where if you didn't happen to pull out your meat in that morning, you don't have to stress about it. You can use frozen meat in here straight in the pressure cooker. So you just pick the amount you kind of have an idea of how much you need for your family for the week. And I'm just doing a few pieces right now, kind of as our example, but you just pick your amount. You can go up to a few pounds in here. Drop that in. So that's all that was. Oh, Bonnie, can we hear you now?
I'm here. I look horrible.
Oh, no, you're fine. We're glad to have you. So we're getting started with our meat first because that takes the longest. So I threw in the broth and the chicken, and we're going to throw this in the pressure cooker, literally throw it in there. So this pressure cooker has a lot of different settings, but I'm just going to dial it to chicken, poultry, and then hit start. Okay, so that is running, and the chicken default setting is 15 minutes. A lot of times it doesn't even take that long, but the default is 15 minutes, and then it takes about 10 minutes to come up to pressure. So just to kind of have that time frame idea in the back of your mind if you really are in a time constriction. So that is going, and then in the meantime, we're gonna start with our veggies. And there is you can do different meats for your prep for the week. And I'm looking at this a little bit different than meal prep when you think of like prepping an entire meal and like having it ready to go. This is more like ingredient prep. So you have all your ingredients prepped. So when you have those crazy hectic weeknights, you can just come home and you have those prepped and ready to go for your one pot meals. And I'm going to provide some recipes for those too. But another meat option you can do, I love the pork tenderloins because they're so economical and it's such a good meat. So another option for your power cooking your batches of meat is the deep covered baker. So do either of you guys have this yet, the Pamper Chef deep covered baker?
Mm-mm. No.
And Bonnie, I muted you just because there's a little background noise, but just use the chat if you need anything. So the deep covered baker has been around and it's been loved for so long. You can do so much with this because you can do your meats, you can do your veggies and your sides and your desserts. So you can do you can actually use this, well, you can use it in the oven and the microwave, but you can do a meatloaf in the microwave with this. And I actually have an entire 60-page PDF of recipes just for this. If anybody would like to have that, I'll send it in your email. But tonight, what I did was I took one of those pork tenderloins, you know, the ones that are like the oblong in the bag, and I grab them when they're on sale. And I just took a little bit of olive oil and drizzled it on there. And then I took a seasoning. So in this case, I didn't want to do like any extreme seasoning because I want to be able to use this pork in different recipes. So I did a seasoning salt. So we have different little seasonings and they're great because they're like little shortcuts. So you can take, instead of like measuring out 12 seasonings, you can just take a spoon of this. So olive oil, little seasoning, and I threw this in the microwave for like 12 minutes. And then I made sure with the instant read thermometer, this is so handy, the meat was at the right temperature. So you just stick it in the thickest part. And like right now it's at 159, 160, which is perfect for pork. And then that was it. So 10, 12 minutes in the microwave and you have your pork, your meat done for the week. So this guy is another versatile power tool also. It kind of got overshadowed when all of the electrics came out, like the pressure cooker and the air fryer, but this is a staple too, the deep covered baker. And it is now gray, so you have to use your imagination. They did change the color. But then moving on to our veggie prep. So I've picked a variety of veggies. So think about when you are doing your veggies for the week, what are the veggies that you use over and over and over? Like for me, it's onions a lot. A lot of times there's celery.
Broccoli,
Oh, really? Okay.
aside, not as a mix-in.
Okay. Yeah, broccoli's so good for you.
I use a lot of peppers.
Like the bell peppers.
Yes. Hmm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, you're gonna love these tools I show you. My favorite way to show them is bell peppers. So, and that is kind of the secret, is to have all this plan in place, and I'll provide the recipes before all the craziness starts. So if you have this done, an idea of what you're doing before all the craziness starts, you're in excellent shape. It's just when you get home at 7:30 and you like didn't have this done that it's too stressful to even attempt anything. And I think the reason I stayed away from meal prep for so long was because I'm thinking, oh, this will take 6 hours on my precious Sunday. And I don't think any of us want to give up that time. So I'm looking at it different, like we're not going to take more than like 35 minutes here. So I'm just prepping my veggies. And if you have the right tools to do this, it goes so quick. So this guy is a new peeler, and this is the best, fastest peeler I've ever used. I guess because it's wider, but check this out. If you need to, you can adjust it and go this way with it. So you can peel like your softer veggies. So depending what your preference is. So this guy is one of my new favorites, and it's like lightning fast to peel. So we're just going to peel a couple carrots. And what are the other veggies that you prep like all the time that are kind of a hassle to chop up?
Probably the celery. I don't always take the strings off of it.
Like, I
No, like
don't like the ends, you mean?
well, like the outer part. Like I remember my mom would always pull
Oh,
those
seriously?
those outer veins. She would pull off those strings.
Oh my gosh, no, I've never even done that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, that would be a labor of love. So if you guys can see here what I'm working on, this is actually a tool. This is the part of the prep and store system. This is a cutting board, and it's actually weighted. It's got a lot of heft to it, and it sits right on the edge of your counter so that you can take it comes with two little 5-cup containers, and there's little holders back here that you can set your containers in. And as you work, you can just fill them up, and it's the handiest thing. So these containers, they come with the lid, and it even has a little vent like a produce drawer. Because if you have cut veggies, you don't want air to get in there. But each of the containers comes with this little mesh straining bottom. So say those fruits or veggies that are kind of juicy that you cut up, say like tomatoes or pineapples, and you don't want them sitting in their own juices. So you use this and they don't sit in their own juices and they last longer. So that will help you because it'll get you more bang for your buck as far as time, because sometimes it's tricky to use your produce before it goes bad. And then another fun little feature, they have dividers. So you can put a divider in there and then you can put 2 different prepped veggies for the week in here. Say like sliced onions on one side and diced onions on the other side, or carrots and celery. So I'm going to get these ready to throw my veggies into. And the other part of the prep and store system is this base that the entire thing holds 3, and then this can slide in and out of your fridge really easily. So this guy is like the size of a 12-pack of soda, so it's really convenient to just slide in there. But then what's really cool is it comes with the cooling inserts. So you can set those in there and then you can use this to serve. So these cooling inserts keep your veggies or your fruits cold for up to 4 hours, like on those hot summer days, or if you just have it sitting out on a buffet line. So picture that you can have this out on your buffet line, and imagine like you could do your taco night, or you could do dips and veggies, or you could do a dip in your fruit, or you could have your kids' snacks all ready to go and prepped in here like for the week. So when they come home after school, they just slide this in and out of the fridge and it's ready to go. So this is this system will help you feel like you're so organized.
Erica, does that come together, or do those storage containers come with the cutting board?
Yes and no. So the cutting board comes with 2 of the containers, and then the other part of the prep and store system, the base, comes with 3 containers, and you can buy them separately, or they do come as a set, and it's at a discount that way. So if you get the set, it's less. So yeah, I mean, I love having both, but if you just need one or the other, you totally can too. So, and another cool thing is, like, as you have your scraps, you can just slide these into one of your containers as a scrap container. I'm going to use mine for my finished veggies, but I'm going to set mine to my scrap pile to the side here. So we have some carrots peeled, and then we'll take our celery, and all I'm going to do with this is just chop off the ends. And before we go any further at all with the cutting tools, the first cutting tool I recommend to have is everybody needs at least one good knife. So this guy is the 5-inch Sentoku knife, and you don't really realize how nice it is to have a good knife until you've been using a bad one, and then all of a sudden you get a good one, and it's like an epiphany. So want at least one good knife, and it makes everything so much easier. So I'm just going to cut off the ends of the celery so that's ready to go. And I was just wanting to show this kind of in real time so you can see how quick it can be. And then I have some different veggies. I have a zucchini, I have some bell peppers. We can go ahead and prep our bell pepper. What I like to do is, I have a joiner here. What I like to do is just cut it in half like this. It's where the tip is. And then if you have, I kind of just cut off the stem. And usually it's pretty neat. But if you have, say, a bell pepper or like a melon, you can use this scoop loop that has these little serrated edges to dig in here and get out your the seeds. So like yesterday, I prepped a butternut squash or like any kind of squash, you know how you cut them open and they have that messy seed mixture in there, and you can just scoop it out real quick with this. So I prepped our bell pepper real quick. Hi, Kathy.
Hi.
I hope you can hear us. Can you help us? Which Kathy is this? I have a couple.
Kathy Ritchie.
Oh, awesome. So glad you could join us. So we got our meat in the pressure cooker going, and we did some more meat prep in the microwave actually, and I'll let you know what we did too. I'll email all of our recipes. And so we're just prepping some veggies before we really zip through them and get them done for the week. So I prepped bell pepper and then onion. So I want to show you guys my favorite way to prep or cut an onion. Because, you know, it's one of those things you think it's pretty obvious, but I've seen enough people struggle with onions that maybe it would help to show how easy it can be. So what I do, you take it where your ends are pointing each side and you cut off your ends, the tip and the tail. And then from here, I take it and I make a vertical slice just through that top layer. And it doesn't matter if you go a little deeper, but just through that top layer. And then from there, if you can kind of, if you're lucky, it'll just all come off in one peeling. And then from there, you can do whatever you need to with your onion. And we'll do a couple different things with onions. So onion, and then zucchini, all we need to do is snip off the ends. And then we're ready to really fly through our veggie prep here. Sometimes I do some of this prep ahead of time, but I just wanted to give the concept of how quickly it can actually be done. And even without talking, it can be really fast. So then the tools that make it easier. So let's start with our carrots. So do you guys use a mandolin yet?
No.
Okay.
So
Not that one, but sometimes.
okay, so we do have a traditional mandolin, and I have it right here. The traditional mandolin is called the simple slicer. So this guy has just 3 thicknesses and it's just your basic slices. So that's an option. And then down the road, we came out with this guy, which is called the Rapid Prep mandolin. And the reason I love this so much is because when you are doing your slicing, every time I pulled this one out, somebody would say, you know, I cut my fingertip off with that, and it just makes me cringe. Like every time I pull it out, even though you're supposed to use the safety guard. But when this one came out, it gave me such a sense of relief because the way it works, you're pushing food down into the chute and you're pumping the handle, so your hands are never anywhere near the blades. So that just gave me such a sense of relief that I can show people this and that they don't have to worry about slicing themselves at all. And then it has some Rapid Prep mandolin. There's even more features than just a simple slicer. So the simple slicer mandolin, you can do your basic slices. And this guy, you can do your basic slices anywhere on a level from super thin all the way up, 8 different settings. But then what really makes this interesting is that you can adjust from a slice to a julienne. So instead of just slicing, you can do a julienne cut. So instead of just slices, you can get like the julienne strips. So that gives you a lot of versatility and saves a lot of time. So let me show you. Let's just start with some carrot slices, and we'll do like a medium slice level. So let's just get an idea for carrot slices. A lot of times, one of my favorite ways I've had to use this is whenever you make soups and you have to chop up so many veggies for soups, you can just fly through them with like this. So that gives you an idea, like that's a medium thickness on your carrot slices. And then you can go any level, but here's what's really cool. You can take your several carrots at once. And let's adjust this to, let's adjust the julienne strips to the thinner julienne. And we're on like a 4 for the thickness, so like middle. And we're gonna start. And then when you get closer, you use your food pusher. But look at the little julienne strips. So I have in mind for this little stir fry. So imagine like if you were doing these with a knife, can you imagine how long that would take you? And you can. And you kind of have to envision how you're putting things in. Okay. So you can do as many as you need, but so we have our carrots for our recipes for the week here. So I'm gonna throw those in one side of my container. And these are 5-cup containers. They actually do hold quite a bit of food. You know, like if you want to do, well, healthier eating too, like to get in more veggies. I think that's the main thing that deters a lot of people is just the time. So if you can make this fun and plus you could have your kids help you with this. So then let's go to some celery and we'll do the same thing here. So we'll just kind of break it down because you can do quite a bit at once. So for celery, let's do a fairly thin slice so that when we're stir frying, it doesn't take that long to cook. We'll go to like a 3. So you just, and you know what? I forgot to take it off julienne, so I'm getting the really little bitty, which if you need diced, that would be perfect. So you could leave it on julienne. But I'm looking for slices, so I'll just dial it back to the slices. Okay. So there you go. You have your little thinly sliced celery all ready to go for your recipes or soups for the week. So I'll put that in another container, another half. And then, oh, I should show you guys a potato because you can actually, with that versatile julienne strip, you can actually make your French fries cut in here. Do you guys want to see a potato?
Yes, please.
Grab a medium potato here. And let's go back to our peeler. See how fast we can, see how huge the strips are. You can get this done so fast because I know peeling can be a little bit tedious, but not with this guy.
So Erica, I don't cook much.
Yeah.
You're prepping all these vegetables for side dishes or
No, like main dishes for the week.
main dishes that any one of those things would go in, like a soup or I heard you say stir fry.
Right.
Okay.
And if you don't cook, you kind of have to be aware of how much you'll actually need for your family. How many are you cooking for now, Gina?
Just 2 of us.
And that would be a lot easier as far as quantities too. And I know the fewer people you have, you can get by with planning less. Like if you have a lot of people, you really have to plan ahead.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Although
you,
we do like having leftovers in the fridge because the kids can show up at any time and that's the
oh,
first thing they go to is the fridge for leftovers.
tell them they have some prepped veggies that they can make their own little stir fry with. So you just take your potato and I adjusted this to the thicker julienne. And then we're doing a pretty thick slice and then julienne, so it's gonna slice it and cut it long ways. So we just use our pusher. So there you go. There's your little French fry cuts. Do you guys
Love
ever
it.
make, yeah, do you ever make your own French fries?
No, rarely.
So there is with the air fryer, it's a lot more fun and easy, and you don't have to do that deep frying. So you
Hmm
can just use a little oil instead of like drenching it in it.
hmm
So I will set these aside and then let's move on to our next veggie. So we have different tools and kind of depending what you do the most of. Some of them, not everybody needs every tool, but depending on which veggies you use the most of. So this guy is called the quick slice. So one of my favorite ways to show him, I know Lindsay, you like bell peppers, is the bell peppers. So the quick slice, it reminds me of that little egg slicer that it's like this big and you do your hard boiled eggs with it. It's like that, but times four and a lot stronger. So you can do the little bit softer veggies. Like you can't do a whole raw potato or a whole raw onion that you would want the simple slicer for. But any of like the strawberries, mushrooms, bell peppers, zucchini, cucumber. So like here's a bell pepper just in half and you actually can kind of start it and then you just kind of rock back and forth. And once it's all the way through, you have your little bell pepper strips. So you can kind of picture when I really started to appreciate this was when I did a veggie tray and I just zipped through some bell peppers, some cucumbers, some mushrooms. So let me show you the mushrooms. So you could take like 4 mushrooms at once. And instead of all that tedious chopping, you can zip through these really quick. So there's your sliced mushrooms for your recipe. So I just love this guy. And then another thing you can use it for is zucchini. So you would just break it down to where the length will fit for you. And this is kind of real similar to the cucumber too. So you just lay it on there and you just kind of rock back and forth. And then you get all your little zucchini slices. So you can really zip through your veggie prep with these tools. And I wanted to show you also the simple slicer. If you just do a lot of basic, like you need your onions sliced or your potatoes sliced, you can always use the simple slicer. So let's say like the thinnest slice for onions, and you always use the safety guard. And it has these little prongs, so you just push your food onto there. Even if you have like little individual radishes, you could put like 1 on each prong. But then you slide your rails and just push and roll. And it pushes down as you go. So that was a whole onion, just that quick. So you can have your onions ready to go. Like if you're doing the hamburger slices, or you just need a whole bunch of sliced onions. And then there's always the classic traditional food chopper. So do you guys all have this guy?
I use that all the time.
Yeah.
I
Perfect.
chop a lot of pecans.
Okay. It is one of the best things for nuts for sure. But if you're just doing like one onion and you just need it diced up or like part of a pepper, this guy is the way to go. And you can do it straight on your cutting board, or you can put the lid on and do it, just get it done really quick. And the onions are starting to make me cry.
Mm.
But so there's our veggie prep: bell pepper, onion, celery, carrot, mushrooms. So I have something in mind for these veggies, but what I also want to share with you guys is the power cooking, the idea of power cooking your, let me change my view here. I flipped my screen. So you can take batches of meat and prep a big batch of meat for the week ahead. And I have a little recipe guide for beef and then one for ground meat and then one for chicken. So the idea is you're making a big batch power cooked of chicken, just like we're doing in the pressure cooker or like we did with the microwave, the pork tenderloin. And then once you have that power cooked, this is 5 recipe ideas for that cooked meat. So between those two, that's 10 recipe ideas for you. And then the 3 recipes that you can use. And you were saying, what exactly are these ingredients for? So there's 3 separate recipes here that these ingredients are perfect for. There's a stuffed pepper skillet, and there's a turkey dinner skillet, and there's a chicken fajitas. So if you have your meat prepped ahead of time and your veggies prepped ahead of time, you can fly through a recipe. It's all the prep time is what takes all the effort. So let's see where we're at with our chicken. Okay, it looks like just 1 minute left on the chicken, and then we'll be able to finish that up and get it ready for the week. And my favorite go-to recipe that I've been doing when I have these prep veggies in the fridge, and my chicken did just beep right now, so we can actually go to that. But don't let me forget to show my favorite go-to recipe. So when the pressure cooker is done, you're gonna go and release the steam, and that's kind of the dangerous part. So you just need to make sure you're standing way back. And I usually put it right under my stove vent and turn that on. And then I can probably see it going there. And it takes a little bit to come out of pressure before the steam is all out and the pressure indicator will fall all the way down. Then you know it's done. So we just have to be careful. And depending like how full it is, it'll take longer. In the meantime, I was just looking, these are the little microwave grips that are going to be perfect to lift out that pot. So actually, I'll get a little hot pad here. I smell the chicken.
So was there a button you pressed?
Yeah, so it was the steam release button.
Steam release. Okay.
Yeah. And you want to make sure you're standing way back when you hit the button. So then I just take the lid off and kind of point it away from you. That is boiling steam. And then I can kind of show you what we have is just the cooked chicken breasts. So they're totally done in here.
Mm.
And I'm hoping that I can get this where you guys can see what I'm doing inside of here a little better. But what I'm going to use is I'm going to take this, it's the meat shredder wrappers. It's technically called the salad choppers, but we hardly ever use it for salads. We're always using this for shredding up meat. So say you have like your pork roast in the pot, in the slow cooker, you can just dig in there and start shredding this chicken up.
Hmm.
So instead of like pulling it out, burning your fingers, making a mess, you can just do it all right here in the pot. And you just keep going till you get it as fine as you like. So I've done this a lot where you can do like your loaded nachos with this chicken, but basically this shredded chicken, you can take it in any direction. So you can use this throughout the week, like in your burritos, quesadillas. There's so many casseroles that call for shredded chicken. And one of my favorite go-tos is just to make a stir fry. And if the meat's done already, all you have to do for that is just heat up the meat. Do you guys all like chicken?
We eat a
Yes.
lot of chicken, yeah.
How do you like to make it the best?
Chicken and dumplings.
Ooh, do you do those from
Mm.
scratch?
Yeah,
That
but I
probably,
but I get a rotisserie chicken from Costco.
oh, well, that's a big time. I know you can't argue with those. They're like less than $5 for a whole chicken.
They have a lot of flavor too.
And then, do you make your own dumplings?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I bet that's good. So you can see this chicken's pretty much shredded up. And then what I can do is just keep this in a little container in the fridge. So I like to use, this is a little 4-cup batter bowl. It always comes with the lid. And then this is one of my go-to vessels. Like every little recipe I've made in the last 20 years, I pull out my batter bowl. But you can just keep this in the fridge and have it ready to go for whatever you want to make out of it. So one of my go-tos is the quesadillas. But there's so many things, and you kind of have to plan ahead what you'll actually use for your quantities. But once that's cooked, it's like such a relief. And the same thing with the pork. You can leave it whole or you can slice it up. But one of my favorite go-tos for the healthy meal is I take this big skillet. This is the cookware. I know, Lindsay, you were kind of looking at this. This is the 12-inch nonstick skillet, and it's totally flat. And I love this because it's big, it's huge. Like you can do probably 3 pounds of hamburger in here. Or like if you're doing your pancakes, you can get several in here. And I love how it has a totally flat bottom. And the cookware, nonstick cookware was actually reformulated. You can actually use metal utensils on this now. And I believe it's dishwasher safe. So it's not, they keep getting better and better and better. One way that I've found to realize what really good cookware is when you cook bacon in it. Like I noticed if I cook bacon in a really cheap pan, it's all uneven. But when I did it in a good pan, it cooks perfectly evenly and it blows you away how much better it performs. And then these also, you can actually take these handles off and you can use this in the oven. I just did that for a dish last night where I started on the stove and then finished it in the oven. But what I like to do is you have all your veggies prepped. So we have all of the variety that we just cut up. I like to just put a little olive oil in here and saute the veggies until they're soft enough. And then what I do is when they're mostly done, add in the cooked chicken that we just did. And then you can take, if you're feeling ambitious and you have like 10 minutes, I have the best recipe for a stir fry sauce. But even if you don't have that amount of time, I've been taking something like just a good quality ready-made Asian sauce. So stir fry your veggies, throw in the cooked meat and add some sauce and just cook it for a few minutes just to heat everything through. And then before you would have done that, you would have gotten some rice going in the pressure cooker. So this is actually a multi-cooker where it does several functions, not just pressure cooking. But we did the chicken, but you can also use the rice button. So when you got home on that busy night, you could throw some rice in, hit the button, and then do your stir fry on the stovetop. And then about when that's done, the rice will be done, and then you have your meal. So, and it's healthy, and like you don't have to use a recipe, you don't have to think. So that's what's helped me a lot. So that's one of my favorite go-tos. And then garlic. With the stir fry, you'd probably add in garlic too. Is everybody here a garlic lover?
No, not so much.
Lindsay, is that a yes? So the veggies are just, you add in the ones you like, obviously. And I know broccoli, was that you that likes broccoli? Broccoli would be really good too.
Mhm.
But garlic, I want to show you real quick, the garlic tool, because I know it can be a little tedious if you have your whole cloves, whole heads of garlic. It can look a little intimidating, but all you do is you break it off, and this little garlic prep tool comes with a little peeler. So you just kind of roll that, and then you can pick whether you want to do dices or slices of garlic. So garlic's kind of funny. If you press it, like with the minced garlic, it'll release the most oils, it'll be the most powerful. But where if you just cut it into slices, it's nowhere near that powerful. And you'd be amazed how much garlic you can use, and it's not overpowering if it's just cut up. Like I was kind of seeing how much I could use without going over. I used like 10 cloves in a skillet, and it's not overpowering because it's just sliced. So I am going to do the slices. So you just put your little drawer in there, and then you just push down. And you get your little garlic slices. So you could do that with several and throw that in your stir fry. And then garlic you want to add towards the end because it cooks really fast and burns really easily.
Mm.
So garlic tool and ginger you can do. We have a really cool little cup zester now that you can do your ginger. But we're about to wrap up, guys. So the veggies are prepped, the meat's prepped, and then you would have these in your base in the fridge. So this guy, I would have my finished veggies all in a row, and just throw this guy in the fridge, ready to pull out. So that's all ready to go for the. And then what's really exciting right now is several of the tools that I showed are actually on sale in January, which is a little uncommon. They don't usually just have sales all the time. You kind of have to be a host. But let me show you real quick which of these tools are on sale right now. So the cup zester is on sale. The tongs, where did I set those? These guys. Oh, I don't know if you can still see me, but these tongs, they flip open or shut for you. The food chopper's on sale. It's only 36 instead of 45 this month. And the rapid prep mandolin is on sale. It's normally 70 and it's 56 this month. And the entire prep and store system is on sale. So normally the board is 89, it's just 71.20. And the slide-in base with the 3 containers is on sale for 79. It's normally 99. And then if you get the whole system with both of them, it's 144. Usually it's 180. So that's something that's really cool right now. If you fall in love with any of those, that's a really good opportunity. But we're going to go ahead and wrap everything up. And I'm going to email you guys all of those recipes. So you'll have 5 power cooking chicken, 5 power cooking beef, the stir fry recipe, and then 3 more of the one pot meal recipes. So that'll cover you at least for probably a month. But let me show you real quick what's going on in January real quick. So in January, if you happen to want to get a few friends together and host, and you can do that just by coming here or passing around a book, you have the opportunity to get double the amount in free products. So if you found some goodies you like, you can always do that. But no worries if not. I just love the getting us together here and having the community we do. And then if you find anything that you do need to order, if you spend 90, you get a gift with purchase, which is I'm having a little hard time seeing. There's a peeler or the nylon knife. And then January sales I just told you about. And there's always an opportunity if you are interested in something new for this year. Pampered Chef is always looking for people that like to do cooking demos. And then we're about to wrap up, and I just want to thank you guys all for sticking around. And all you have to do to be entered in the grand prize drawing for tonight is answer the final question. And we are giving away one of the mix and chops. This is, I believe, the #1 selling tool Pampered Chef all time. This is the one that you break up your hamburger with. Do you guys have this already?
Yeah,
Mhm.
we use it a lot.
You can share it with a friend if you win. So all you have to do to be entered in the drawing is you answer the final question with a number that relates to you between 1 and 4. So you'll comment with #1 if you saw maybe one thing or a couple things that you need to order. You'll put a #1, and then you'll put your favorite product from tonight. And don't forget your favorite product. And then you'll comment with a #2 if you enjoyed this and you'd like to get a few friends together on one of these, and then you can earn some goodies if your friends have anything they need to order. You'll comment with a #2 if you're interested in hosting and your favorite product. And then you'll comment a #3 if you're interested in learning more about the Pampered Chef business and your favorite product. And then if you enjoy this, but you don't necessarily need anything, or you don't need any more info right now, you'll enter a #4 in the chat box and still your favorite product. And I'll recap real quick. You'll enter a 1 if you need to order something, a 2 if you're interested in hosting, a 3 if you're interested in learning more about Pampered Chef business, and then a 4 if you don't need anything, but with all of them, you put your favorite product. And this is my favorite part. I love to see what everybody's favorite product is. Lindsay's it too. What's your favorite product, Lindsay? And we're doing this in the chat box. Does everybody know how to use the chat box? And you can just tell me if not. Ooh, Gina loves the peeler. This little guy.
The one you flip sideways.
Yeah, that's this guy.
I know. I was thinking that peeler sounds kind of cool to add. No, Ellen, stop it.
And then-
I really like that mix and chop. I have 2 of them because I use them so often. I use them with mashed potatoes and meat.
This guy?
Yes,
Oh, cool. So you do your mashing potatoes with this then?
I totally, yeah.
Okay. Because there's a couple different ones. I have a mix and masher, but yeah, very cool.
I like that. What is the mandolin that had the box with it? What's that called?
The rapid prep mandolin,
Rapid Prep. Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, rapid prep mandolin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always had people ask me if we have something that can make French fries, and now we finally do.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, my thing is the safety of that.
Yeah. The garlic press was impressive. Also, not that
Oh,
I use it a lot, but that was neat to see.
the garlic prep tool.
Yeah, garlic.
Yeah, I've been playing with, if you're just doing like one clove, you don't necessarily need a tool, but I've been
Mhm.
playing around with using tons of garlic, and you can. So
Mhm.
you can get like your 10 cloves of garlic done real quick in here. Ooh, Bonnie likes the chopper. Kathy likes, I'm assuming it's this, the quick slice.
Yes.
Yeah, that.
Very cool. Yeah, this guy, it's one of those things when they came out with it almost makes you wonder, it seems like they would have had that already because you use it so much. Okay, so I'm gonna do our prize drawing because you guys are all here. So let me make sure I have everybody in. Bonnie, Gina, Lindsay, and then we have Kathy. Lindsay, Gina, Kathy, Bonnie. Okay. We are going to do we have Bonnie, I just need Kathy. Grand prize giveaway. Okay, so drum roll. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, and the winner is Kathy.
Oh my
Congratulations.
God.
You're just in Columbia, right? I might just deliver this to you.
Yes, that's awesome. I do not have one, so
Oh, perfect.
that would be nice.
Good. Well, congratulations. So
Thank you.
we are all done. I was just gonna mention real quick, I had a favorite rice I use. I had this sitting here. This white rice always works perfect in the pressure cooker, that Mahatma long grain white rice.
What kind of pressure cooker do you have? Is it like an Instapot or?
It's like that. It's the Pampered Chef's, it's called the Deluxe Multi Cooker, and that can be an entire show on its own. So it has 16 preset settings, functions. It is a pressure cooker, so any of, like, say you go on Pinterest and you look up pressure cooker recipes, you can do any of those with the custom settings. Or if you just want to totally take the brain work out of it, all the preset settings, there's poultry, beef, there's a bean setting, there's a dessert setting that you can actually make a cheesecake in the pressure cooker. So the preset settings, you don't have to think about how long and the pressure, you just hit the button.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a rice setting. And then the reason this one is a deluxe multi-cooker is there's a couple more functions you can do. You can do have you guys heard of the sous vide cooking where you immerse food in a bath of water at a perfect temperature and it cooks it perfectly?
Oh, no.
Yeah, so it's something that it sounded a little intimidating to me, but it's not. It actually is very forgiving. Like if you have a really expensive steak you want to get perfect, you can do that.
Hmm.
And then there's a yogurt setting that you can make your own yogurt, and you can also just use it as a slow cooker too. So that's why they're calling it the deluxe multi cooker, but basically it's an electric pressure cooker. And it has all the safety functions, so all those scary stories you've heard about pressure cookers, you don't have to worry about. Like you can even touch the outside of it while it's going.
Well, I'm less intimidated to cook after tonight's show. I'm motivated.
Well, it sounds like you're a good cook anyway.
I just have certain things that I am good at, and the rest I
Really?
just whatever's fast, you know.
And Bonnie and Kathy, we're done. We're just hanging around chatting. So I was gonna say next week I'm doing game day appetizers, so that'll be a fun one. That's my specialty is baking and appetizers.
That sounds great. We'll see you then.
Oh,
Thank
okay,
you.
sounds great. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.